I'm on my way to train with Paratriathlon gold medalist Lauren Steadman in London. She competed in 2008 and 2012 as a swimmer before switching to Paratriathlon in 2016 when she won silver and gold in 2020. I'm not sure if we're going to do more conditioning-based work, such as, say, intervals on the treadmill or bike, or if we're going to do more strength-based exercises, but either way, I'm kind of nervous.
So, Lauren, what's the first move that you're taking me through today?
We are going to do loaded step-ups. I would choose to do this, if you think about cycling and running, the last bit of the movement is that power.
Yep.
So obviously pushing through as you're going up the step-up, it's all about getting the glutes activated. So I will just, I'll just do a little demo for you. You can load these with dumbbells, you can also load them with an Olympic bar, but we also, lots of people will push off the back leg. You don't want that, you want to maximize like your strength through the front, so you have to load this front leg. And then at the top, you have to make sure that you fully lock out here and squeeze your glute.
Okay.
I would do about 6 on each side, boof. But always make sure that you are loading the front leg, so you sort of lean forwards, up, and then boof.
Okay, so lock out the back leg.
Lock out the back leg.
Okay. Whoop, not quite though.
No, it's fine. Make sure to lean into it and load the front leg. Perfect.
So could you talk me through your current training regime and what your exercise routine is from Monday through Sunday, including your mix of cardio and strength?
Yeah, so it's got quite specific at the moment because I've got 24 weeks until big race day. I do around 17 to 20 hours of training a week, and that's split between swim, bike, run for the cardio stuff, and then sort of gym-wise, we're looking at 3 one-hour sessions, and my gym is so specific, it just complements all the movements that I do for the rest of the 17 hours of training. But yeah, it's pretty heavy, it's pretty intense, but this is the phase that I really like, when the sessions are more based on your race speed and capacity, so they're my favorite.
Is that because it gives you more structure in your schedule?
So my coach will work sort of, we do every 3 weeks is like what we call a cycle. So 2 weeks will be hard, 1 week will be adapting to those 2 weeks, and I'll get a rest day every 10 days. There's active recovery in that. So sometimes like there'll be really high intense few days, and then he'll say, right, today's active recovery, which means it's an easier swim, it's an easier run, just to flush out all the muscles. But yeah, and also strength will always work in with the cardio work. So you could never beast me in the gym and then expect me to run fast. So everything's very structured and very intentional.
How does your training change in the off-season?
Off-season, you would look for longer, lower intensity. So if you think as you're going into sort of a race season, you're sharpening your skills and getting more specific, kind of from October through till probably February, you would just see less intensity. So bike rides might be 4 hours long, but actually your heart rate stays at like 130. And it's just, if you build a big base in your aerobic, and then if you imagine your race is up here, it's a triangle. Yep. So suddenly you get less hours and it gets more specific and sharp. So it's generally how my training is programmed.
So what are your favorite ways to recover?
My favorite ways to recover definitely include massage. I'm definitely somebody for getting nutrition on point, so I definitely eat very well to refuel my body. Weekly massages, stretching is in there. As I've got older, I've noticed that actually before and after, I really need to make sure my body is prepped to do the exercise in the session, and then afterwards, not just going straight home, but actually giving my body the chance to cool down. And then mentally, I think is the biggest aspect, being able to switch off and get away from performance sports. So I think for me, it might actually be cooking in the evenings. I love to get my ingredients out and just come up with something that's delicious.
What's the second move that you're going to show today?
The second move's probably quite a traditional gym move. Lots of people will do it, but we would use it for targeting the lats and shoulder stability, particularly in swimming. It would be a bent over row, or some people might call it a 3-point row, because you've got 3 points connected to the ground and then you're rowing with one. Put your knee, it's kind of like, sometimes you can call it a 3-point row, because you've obviously got 1, 2, 3 points there. You don't want to be like this, you don't want to be like this. So I sort of go like this, and then settle in the middle. Pick up your weight. You will bring it up, and we're not going like this, we're not going like this, we're literally here, and you just want to bring your elbow straight back, and you want to squeeze as though you've got like a credit card in between your shoulder blades. So Squeeze at the top, hold for 2, back down. Squeeze, back down. And then if I was to do it on the other side, again, 3 points touching, go down and you squeeze. And it's not like wrapping them out like this. We're just going here, squeeze, and down. Bend your knee a little bit on that side.
Yeah.
That's it. Make sure this is just nice and flat on your back.
And then back, not like this, not
Yeah.
like this.
And then you're now just literally elbow coming back to your hip. That's it. And then feeling a nice little squeeze in here. Can you feel that working?
Yeah.
Perfect.
So you're clearly raising the standards for paratriathlon. What are the top things you've learned now that you're at the peak of your career?
It has taken 20 years to reach the peak of my career, and there have been so many things that I've learned along the way. In failure, you learn more than you do when you succeed. You question yourself, you work out what the small percentages are where you can get better, and also to get the correct balance as an athlete. As athletes, we are so targeted and focused on one specific thing that actually sometimes stepping away from that can give you a different perspective. And for me, that really is stepping away from the arena of sport and doing things that I love. We mentioned baking. I do still love to salsa dance, or just my dog.
Whether you could tell us a bit about your PhD, and do you find that that's something that you use to escape as well from training?
My parents were pretty strict on that one day my body will fail me and I won't be an elite athlete my whole career. So academics was just as important as sport, which I'm truly grateful to them for. I have studied all of my education at Portsmouth University. I have an undergraduate in psychology, a master's in business and management, and I'm currently doing a PhD in our mental health narratives in our Olympians and Paralympians. I'm studying that because it's a passion area of mine, but what it means is that one, I have first-hand experience, and two, I can be immersed in the world that they're in, and also I get to train hard, switch off, and study all day, and then train again.
I believe it was your uncle who urged you to switch from swimming to triathlon. Can you talk us a little bit through that transition?
That was actually a really hard transition, and I remember it purely because swimming is so structured in that you swim in the morning, 4 till 6, you swim in the evening, 4 till 6. It's 2 hours in the pool, morning and night. Triathlon, you can swim indoors, you can swim open water, you can cycle indoors, you can cycle outdoors, you can run anywhere. So for me to have a schedule that obviously had 3 sports now, and it was never the same each week, I remember my brain just, at first we had to treat it like it was swimming and go back to a structured timetable. So triathlon at first was really daunting.
What's the third move that we're doing today?
A lot of my strength and conditioning program is about injury prevention and making sure that we do exercises that stabilize and strengthen the smaller muscles so that the bigger muscles don't have any issues. So we're going to do an isometric calf raise. Your knee needs to be over your ankle and your toes are just on there. You are going to go into a calf raise, but make sure that, again, your knee is still over your ankle. You're going to lower down into it, and I would look to hold this for around 30 seconds each side. The burn gets so intense, and because you're split, you're obviously balancing and stabilizing both ankles. And then once you've done the 30 seconds, switch over. Again, how you set up is really important. So knee, ankle up into the calf raise, lower down, and then you are literally stabilizing with both ankles and core. So if you're a bit wobbly, tensing the core and just holding for 30. That's it. Foot on there. That's it.
Yep.
Split stance. That's it. That's it. Knee up.
Here-ish.
And then lift this right up.
Yep.
Perfect.
A bit higher, I think.
Yeah, nice.
Okay.
That's it. And just hold. 20 seconds is a lot when you have to time it like that.
So why did you choose those 3 moves today?
Those 3 moves are staple throughout the year in my training program. They come and go, but they're always in there. The step-ups are really good for your top-end power at the end of a cycle stroke or when you hit the ground for the running. We had the calf raises in there at the end, which my calves are always niggly, so I have to always include calf raises to make sure that they're stabilizing the ankles and rehabbing any little niggles that might start. And then for swimming, obviously your lats are a huge part in the upper body, so doing the 3-point row, for me, I respond very well to having the strength in such a specific movement.
So what are your ambitions for the future of women in sport and fitness?
I hear a lot of, oh, I don't like sport. Do you actually know how many sports are out there? I'd like girls to step outside the boundary, and I'm really passionate about getting access to the younger generations and giving them opportunities. I work with Everyone Active, and we've got a sporting champion scheme, and I'm an ambassador, and being able to mentor them and I guess show them an easier path than what I travelled is really important.
What are your aims and hopes for disability sport?
I think that we've seen disability sport come on massively in the last decade, actually, and my biggest hopes and dreams is that anybody with physical impairment or disability, or general member of the public that just has something that hinders them doing sport, actually has a can-do attitude and they are willing to try. There are so many sports centres now, like Everyone Active, that are making things accessible, they're making things easy for people to do. There's classes that are specific, so there are really less and less limits and barriers now.
I loved that. It's incredible to speak to someone so accomplished and who's raising the standard for disability in sport. Her explanations for each exercise were really thorough as well. Thank you so much, Lauren, for your time today, and I wish you all the best of luck this competition season.